Hey everyone, just wanted to give a quick layout update specific to just the scenery that I've been working on. So I haven't had a lot of time lately to work on it. In Michigan we've had some good weather for the past month, so I've been doing a lot more outside, but with rainy days, things like that, I get down here and make some progress. So it doesn't really look too different over the past month, even though I've done a lot. It's just little tiny details of stuff that have just been time consuming. The first major issue I ran into was the ballast on the cork road bed. I wasn't when I cut the cork, I didn't file and sand the edges smooth enough, so you keep getting these little areas here where the actual ballast isn't sticking to it. So I've been going through and manually just kind of filling that in to make it look nicer, but it's just time consuming. So in this last little section over here, I've been trimming the cork a little bit better just to make sure it's a better angle. And I plan on filling this in a little bit more in the gaps just to bring it up, so I got a little bit more elevation there, so the actual ballast doesn't have to sit down as low. So that should hopefully help with that a little bit. Static grass, so I talked about that and still making good progress with that. Still been practicing, trying to figure out color combinations, things like that, length as well. I've been going primarily with the shorter stuff, like the 2 to 4 millimeter type stuff, and it's been looking pretty good, and I've been pretty happy with that. So I've been filling that along the tracks here too, kind of going up into the tracks for the little spurs that aren't used as much. Still got a lot of touching up to do, but I've been happy with it. It's looking pretty good. So for the machine, I don't think I talked about that. I just bought one of the cheap little Chinese ones. I think it was like $35 or $40 on eBay or something. And I've actually been really happy with this. It works really well. Are the expensive like name brand ones better? Maybe, but these things are so simple. I just can't justify spending so much money on it. I mean, if this didn't work at all, I'd be mad, but I've been pretty happy with the results. And then the grass too, like I said, I bought all different sizes. So I got like 7 or 8 bags here I'm looking at, but the 2 millimeter and 4 millimeter combinations of different colors have actually worked out pretty well, and I've been happy with that going through. So I've really just been kind of grassing the whole thing, and I figure it's really easy to bring this stuff up. You can just scrape it up with a knife, and that way when I actually want to put buildings and stuff in here, I just scrape the areas where I don't want it. And I've been patching in some dead areas too, just trying to give some variance into it. When I first did this, it was all kind of just the same color and almost looked too pristine, so I went back through, scraped a bunch up, added some dead in there, and put a little bit of grass on top of it just to try to break it up. So I made a big difference. I've been pretty happy with how that's turned out there. For the ground cover, I've been using the blended turf from Woodland Scenics, just kind of a brown mixture of colors, really. And I go through and I airbrush a little bit too, just to give it some variation. And then I wet it down and put that with the glue, and I put the grass on top of it in areas. So I've been over here. I didn't do it as much, and you can kind of see the grass looks a little bit thin in some areas. So I'll probably scrape this up and do it again, because the areas I've been doing this in, it definitely looks a lot better. But anyway, buildings. So I've still got the one building here. I haven't really done much with it, but I have been working on the building that's going to go on the backdrop here. It's going to be pretty long. It's based on a Walther's building, like a warehouse, and I'm going to have it go all the way to somewhere in this area here, and then just down towards the end for 2 spots. There'll be 2 doors for the cars to sit. But this will kind of just fill in the area here up until the backdrop, which will be, I'm undecided how high I want to make it. I think I mentioned it before, I might not make it that high, because I kind of like the idea of having this freestanding in the room where I can operate the layout from both sides, walk completely around it. So not entirely sure yet, just a thought, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, so that building will go up to here, here roughly, and then down on this side I've got yet to figure out what I'm going to do for the building that'll sit back here. But that's kind of it for structures now. I've been purchasing some cars as I come across them, so I'll do that in a separate video. Just trying to build my rolling stock fleet up a little bit better for all those 90s period cars that I like. But other than that, it's really kind of the progress right now. So again, not a whole lot to look at, but it's just the little things. Track weathering too, been doing that, going through, leaving some kind of oil and dirt marks on the tracks from stuff being dropped there. But yeah, one thing I noticed putting down when I spray the isopropyl down for the ballast, it actually eats away a lot of the acrylic weathering that I had put on the track, unfortunately. So I'm having to go back and do that again, but it is what it is. So anyway, should have another update here soon, and thanks for watching.